Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of the Confidence to Homeschool podcast. One of the biggest questions that I hear in all of the homeschooling groups and talking to all of the different moms that I get to talk to is how do families actually afford to homeschool on one income? Or how can I still create an income for my family while homeschooling my kids? So, if you've ever wrestled with that question, today's conversation is going to be a game changer for you. I'm joined by my good friend Janeen. We all know and love her now. She's a homeschooling mama of five, traveling the world with her husband and four of her boys. She's experienced firsthand what it takes to make homeschooling work financially. For 5 years, she was just a homeschool mom. For anybody who can't see me, that was in quotation marks, and living on one income. And since then, she's found creative ways to stretch budgets and build multiple flexible income streams from home. She truly understands the balance between raising kids, homeschooling, and still contributing financially. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. So, welcome, Janine.
Thanks for having me, lady.
Yeah, always love having you. So let's start with the elephant in the room. Many moms say we'd love to homeschool, but we just can't afford it. What is the first thing you have to say to that?
I think really when it comes down to it, the question isn't can I afford it? It's can I let go of my income? Because that's really, I think, more of an issue. Because when it comes down to it, when you are going from homeschooling or public school to homeschool, you're not really spending a whole lot of extra money.
Yeah.
We can go into that a little bit, but I know that it can be hard, with all of the rising costs and just, let's be honest, the economy and the way it's going right now, I feel like
Yeah.
everyone's feeling a little like, what's going to happen now? And, the cost of food and gas and just activities and all of that can be really hard. And also just feeling like you have to contribute. I know when I first decided to be a stay-at-home mom and I let go of my income, I it was kind of like letting go of my freedom a little bit. It was kind of like, well, now I feel like I have to ask when I buy something and it wasn't like that. My husband's not like that, but it still felt that way a little.
Hmm.
It does feel good to be able to create an income. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think on top of that, when you do decide that you are going to be a stay-at-home mom, it also feels like you lose a little bit of yourself because we're in this world where it feels like both mom and dad should be working, and then you have so much. I cannot tell you the amount of people that have told me, I don't know how you stay at home all day with your kids, like it's a bad thing, or like it's just this crazy, awful, hard thing. But I also think that part of that is being able to let go of that time by yourself, like you said, that freedom by yourself. And so I think that there's a little bit of almost shame or guilt that goes into not feeling like you are providing for the family as well, and I think that that's scary. But I think that a great way to combat that is to find something to pour yourself into and have something for yourself, whether it's a hobby, whether it's, a side gig that does create an income for you, whatever that means. I think it helps to avoid burnout and make sure that you are still a human whenever this is all said and done, because homeschooling may feel like it's going to be a long time, but there is going to be a day where we're going to be empty nesters, and you need to still have like parts of you left and to know what you love and enjoy. So, I just think that all of that needs to be spoke about before we dive into this conversation.
oh yeah.
Uh,
I think
finance.
you have to like take breaks. Like when your husband gets home, like go take a break. Like you
Right.
have to take a break. And so
Yes.
it's really important. So even if
Yeah.
you aren't doing, even if you're not bringing in an income, make sure you're taking a break. Like have a scheduled break in your day, yes, even if it's just a short period of time, but also in your week, like have a couple hours off somewhere by
Hmm.
yourself. It's really
Yes.
important, for sure.
That has been a new thing for me to really, my husband, I haven't shared that really a whole lot on the channel, but my husband just came back from a 6 month deployment. And the entire time, I never once hired a
A
babysitter.
babysitter. Oh,
The
wow.
entire time, the entire time. And I
Hard.
do not wear that as a badge of honor. Probably there was times that I needed just a minute to myself, but we did manage. And so now that he has been back, before he left even, I was not always great at taking a moment for myself and finding out what it is that I love and what it is that I want to do. I was not good at that. I've had a couple of business ideas here and there. I've, started the podcast before he left, but I still was not great at showing up for me. And I think that it's been really life giving, and I have been a better mom, a better wife, and a better human taking some time for myself to pour into things that I love and enjoy.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I think it matters.
it does.
Okay, so let's break it down. Is homeschooling actually expensive?
No, not
Okay,
at all. And here's what it comes down to. It could be if you make it, of
right.
course. I mean, yeah, you could go out and get all the things and make it expensive, or you can just really, first off, find there's free curriculum out there. I mean, lots of free curriculum. There's The Good and the Beautiful has free downloadable curriculum for pretty much all of language arts. There's what is it? Easy Peasy Homeschool. It's another Christian curriculum that's great. My son actually loves the All-in-One High School by them, and he does that and has skipped ahead basically a year doing that. And it's a great curriculum, and you get to help him choose courses and stuff. And so yeah, there's free options with the library. You don't have to buy all the books. YouTube. So the one thing I like about YouTube, first off, yes, you can like plug in pretty much anything. I actually make little lists, like playlists for the kids. Like, here's a playlist on France, and they can go
Love
through
that.
and learn those things. But the other thing is sometimes, and especially because we travel, we have to get a little creative. Sometimes we'll watch people reading books on YouTube. Like that might not be at the
Oh,
library or might not be in our
yeah.
Kindle or might not be, so that's another thing that you can do. There's also curriculum swaps and different like digital things that you can get. Khan Academy is another one that's free. And there's so many free options out there these days that I feel like there's no way that you can't afford to homeschool when it comes down to it, because there's also public school is expensive and you have to pay for all the extras and all of the school supplies and all of the events and all of the, you know, I don't know, the
The
100
cool
days.
clothes, you gotta have the
Yeah.
cool clothes and you gotta have the nice shoes and you gotta have the backpack that everybody else has got and you gotta have to be part of the popular crowd, you have to have all of the things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree. Public school can definitely be
Well, and
inexpensive.
sometimes it's like you have to bring a yellow shirt on Thursday. And then the next
Yes.
week it's like everyone's got to go get a, I don't know, Play-Doh to bring to school. I mean, I don't even remember what the things are anymore. It's been so long. But I did
Well,
public school, my oldest. And so I know what the differences are because I saw it.
yeah. The 100th day of school, where so many of them dress up as like little old ladies and little old men, which I think is so adorable. But I'm kind of grateful that I don't have to like figure out
Yeah.
all of those little different things. Like we can have our own fun things as well. And there's definitely like play groups. Like we just went and hung out with a wild and free play group last Wednesday, and they do like all of the different school year round parties that we would normally be doing in school. They do those there.
Yeah.
So finding a good group as well, just throwing that in there is and that group is free. All you have to pay for is any supplies that you use, which is not often, or any field trips that you go on. So I think one of my favorite things that I have heard you say is you trade out your finances. Like you trade, instead of paying for a mortgage, you pay for a flight or where you're going to stay or whatever that may be. But that's the same thing with homeschooling versus, public schooling. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
You just
And
choose where money goes different.
you can also trade out like different gifts and stuff. Like instead
Yes.
of getting them what's popular in school that year, which you probably don't want to buy them anyways, maybe you get them a telescope, or maybe you get them, or maybe you ask grandma and grandpa to get you a museum pass, or
Yeah.
something like that instead, and focus more on experiences and learning supplies and stuff, which also
Yeah.
turns into their passions. Like I
Yes.
remember Gavin always, he's my teen now, but he always wanted like dissection kits and get me he wanted to dissect the frog and those kind of things. And so he would get that kind of stuff for his birthday and he loved it.
Yeah. We did a whole Christmas cooking theme at one point in time. I know that that's really funny for my daughter, but she loves to cook. So we did an entire like Christmas themed cooking. And I got her a electric blender, that's what it
Oh
is.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got her a $16 electric blender from the grocery store for her birthday this last year. And you would have thought I gave the girl $1 million. It was the funniest thing ever because she had been whisking everything by hand. She knew how hard it was, and she knew that was going to save her so much time and energy that she was so happy.
Oh, that's
So
really cute.
I love those little like trade-offs. You're totally right. You can do little trade-offs throughout the year. But as far as curriculum goes, you're right. There are so many different options on free curriculums, online curriculums, so on and so forth. But even another option, I have a friend, Casey Ellis, that actually has a used curriculum bookshelf where she has just tons and tons. They used to use one of the rooms in their home for a used curriculum place to sell out of there. But she has been so busy that she's actually got a new like store that is a used curriculum. So look around. She also does online orders. So I will put that in the show notes.
Mhm.
But she has online orders that she can do. But you very well have a place around you that would have used curriculums or cheaper curriculums. And some of them are gently used. Like you don't even notice that it was used before. So
Well, and
I
you can
definitely,
always look too on like bookfinder.com is great for finding used books, but used curriculum is sometimes on there too.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
it searches all the sites.
Yeah. Oh, that's good to know. I did
Mhm.
not know that.
Yeah, it's a good
Well,
one.
that's good to know because I definitely think that there are, and there's like swaps there's like Facebook group swaps
Mhm.
that you can get into and buy curriculum that way. There's always options to save some money and to do things. If you have the will and the desire to do homeschooling, you can do it affordably,
Yeah, for sure.
period. Right? Okay. So now some moms are listening and thinking, okay, but that's great. I still feel like I need to bring something into the table. So let's talk a little bit of that. Give me some thoughts on how you can bring a side hustle or some extra income in.
Yeah, so the one thing I want to say is, yeah, there are always going to be options of different ways that you can, have an income while you're a homeschool mom. There are people that do work. They still go to their 9 to 5 and they just homeschool in the evenings. There are moms that just work part-time and they are a waitress or something like that. But I'm going to warn you, when you do that, it definitely takes a lot of energy and it's really hard on your family because then you're homeschooling and you're still mom. So I don't know about you guys, but like you're still doing all the, grocery shopping and cooking and planning and birthdays and events and holidays and all those other things that go into it. And so that can be really hard. So finding a way to work from home is definitely going to help you. And even finding online jobs, you're still kind of tied to that 9 to 5 in almost all jobs I've seen online. I've looked a lot because I remember for many, many years, I was like, I'm just gonna go get a job, just to like have some extra money or have something to do for myself,
Right.
and so there's a lot of different ways that you can work online and not have to be tied to the 9 to 5. Yes, you can find part-time stuff. Sometimes still, if it's hourly, you're going to be tied to some kind of hours
Okay.
generally. You can be a tutor online, so that's one thing. You can create classes, you can be a VA, you can sell stuff on Etsy, you can freelance, you can be a writer. Or you can do, some type of direct sales or affiliate marketing or network marketing. And the one thing I do love about those is that you're really able to create your own schedule, work as
Yeah.
much as you want, and make as much as you want because it's all up to you. And so that's one thing that's nice about it. And so you really just have to find like the pockets of your day, whether that's nap time, early morning, kind of after school hours. Like you guys, you can set the kids up on, some educational videos and get an hour or two done. You can do evenings after they're in bed. So there's a lot of different ways to be able to kind of fit that in and, make it work for your life. And it's going to look different in different seasons. So just keep that in mind as you kind of step into that.
Yeah. And I think that also what goes into that is you are teaching your children what it looks like to be able to create an income in the cracks of your day. They, it's been really fun watching Addison watch me grow this podcast because like, I'll read the statistics to her and she's like, you have had 38 different states listening to you this month, and there's somebody in across the world that listened to you. And like, she thinks those things are so fun and so cool. And so it's a lot of fun getting to show them how it is to work and bring a little bit of an income in and to do something that you love and you care about and that you have something outside of, just homeschooling and all of the different things. So I absolutely have enjoyed that part of it. And I think that it prepares their mind to think about what could they be doing as well.
I love that you said that because I really am so passionate, especially with the way that the world is going with AI and all of that, that I am more interested in my kids becoming entrepreneurs and starting their own businesses. Like when they're in their high school years, my teenager actually helps me with different things because I want him to learn. Like right now, he's helping me build a website for the ministry that we worked with in the Roma village in Romania. And it's really important for them to watch you to do that. And I like one of my little guys, like he's always watching what I'm doing and like making his own videos. And, he's like, I'm going to do this. And he's like, really, he's going to be good. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And so
Addison, the same thing. Yeah.
I feel like working from home and having your own business or, doing something, especially in the online space, because that's not going away, then I think that really helps to teach your kids too. Like that could also be part of homeschooling and helping them to, come in and do little things for you and learn along the way. And then also listen to you. Like I hear my kids all the time, like, welcome to my YouTube channel. Like, not that I have like much of a YouTube channel, but like they have like, they're starting to like get those skills and talk like that. And that's so good for them. So just
And
wanted to.
they're around the editing process. And you said, whenever I asked you the other day how it is that you like to keep up with all of your different things, we talked about Notion. And
Mhm.
you said your son helped you set it up, which is
Yeah.
a great skill to have, to be able to figure out how to organize your day. And Notion has like even a little finances tab. Like it has so much stuff in there that low key, I wish he was down the street so that I could, get him to come set it up for me. But I think that it's such a special thing for kids to get to see that part of life and get creative. So Addison has really enjoyed like fake nails lately, and she's kind of going down the rabbit trail of like learning them and watching YouTube videos on how to do them well and this, that, and the other. And we have a family friend that literally sold fake nails for like $50, the press-ons. And she says she's wanting to figure that out. And I'm like, well, by all means, girlfriend, do your thing. And so it allows them to think outside of the box and to get creative
Hmm.
and to learn ways to do things differently. And isn't that what homeschooling is about? Is keeping
100%.
up with the times. And I mean, I was looking at school the other day and diagramming sentences, and I'm like, I can't remember the last time somebody asked me to diagram a sentence in my adult age. And so homeschooling, you kind of get to show them but we do work a lot on speaking and, being able to speak in public, being able to speak well to others. And that's important to me. So we get to do the beautiful things that we love and find important and grow where the world is growing and not just be in a stuck, stagnant public school. This is how we do things because this is how we've done things since the 1920s, 1930s, whatever it is,
Yeah, for
We
sure.
get to grow with the world. So, all right. So you have found a way to bring in income right from your phone. Can you share how that looks without it taking over your whole homeschool life?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think it starts with, set your times when you're going to do it. You can't just have free reign all the time on your phone to work because what it comes down to is you're never going to feel like you're done. It's never like, oh,
Right?
I did it. I mean, sure, you can have certain things that are like this, I'm going to do this many of this. I'm going to talk to this many people. I'm going to do, sure. And then you feel like done, but you still could always feel like you could do more or feel like you
Yeah.
should do more or whatever it is. And so I think it's important to have times kind of set aside. Even if it's times in the pockets of your day, it could still be intentionally like, okay, I'm going to work for 30 minutes here, 30 minutes here, and 30 minutes here. I mean, for sure, you can make that work.
Yeah.
But just make sure that you also are taking time away from your phone. Like, okay, at this point, I'm not going to have my phone on. I'm going to be fully present. And I think too is if you're super focused when you're supposed to be doing it, it makes it a lot easier to be super focused when you're not. So I think
Right.
that's really big on, how to do it without it taking over is just to be intentional with your time and just know that all work fits in available time and space. And same thing with homeschooling. It's just, you don't have to have your whole day mapped out hour by hour.
No.
If you do, and that's a rhythm, and it's like, yeah, but we can deviate from that for this or that, it doesn't hurt to have something planned.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. I fully understand that. I agree. I think that if you can be present in those moments, and I think that having a business like this allows you to have an outlet. So I feel like it almost prevents you from sitting and doom scrolling nonstop because you're being more purposeful with your time. If you're finding something that you love to do,
Mhm.
then that you don't necessarily need as much of a break from your life. Like whenever you have a passion that you love to do, you don't necessarily need that break from your life, that mind break from your life. And yes, you're still on social media sometimes or this, that, and the other, but it allows you to live more purposeful all the way around. So, whenever Janine and I first met, I was just intrigued by her life, intrigued by the way that she did things. And I was so very grateful that she was open and honest with me about all of the things. She had mentioned that one of the ways that she was able to travel, because that is just a goal that my heart aspires to do, is she has Make Wellness. And that has been a business that she is growing and she has invited me into. And it's been so fun to be able to just kind of be a team with her and feel like I have a team and a community and a person that we can really just like do things together. She's been great on this whole journey. But more than that, whenever we first started talking about this, she actually didn't tell me the name of the company. She didn't give me any of the details. I just kind of was curious on what she was doing. And so I kind of went and like started researching and put two and two together and figured out that it was these peptides. And then I went down the rabbit hole of, okay, I need, and I've said this on another podcast, I needed energy, I needed focus, and I needed calm. And so I really started just kind of asking her questions a little bit leading into it. And I was expecting like all of these MLM things of, well, you have to do this and you have to order this kit and you have to spend $500 and you have to, sell $100 a month in order to be able to be a part of this. Like I had all of these thoughts and all of these big like things that were telling me you're going to have to do life this way if you choose to do this business. And I had done that before. I didn't want to go back into that world of MLMs. It left a sour taste in my mouth. I know it leaves a sour taste in so many other people's mouth. And so whenever I was talking to her about Make Wellness and I decided I was going to dive into the company and everything, fell in love with the products. I ordered some of the products first, really got a hold of them, was like, yes, this is making a huge difference in my life with my energy and my focus and my ability to be calm and all of these things that I needed in my world. And then I turned around and asked the questions about the business, and she was like, really? They incentivize more than putting the demands on you of making all of these different quotas or ways of you have to do this or you have to spend this. It felt like I could breathe and it felt like freedom and it felt like something that was obtainable that I could actually do in the pockets of my day and that I could actually create alongside my family because the products that are there are ones that everybody can use and everybody can love. And my husband, I walked out the other day and he was like, "What is that energy supplement that you've been using? Like, do they have any brain supplements that go with that?" And I'm like, "Let me tell you something, sir. So, tell me a little bit more about like this business and peptides and all of the fun things. What did I miss? Did I miss anything?"
Oh gosh, I mean, I think you kind of nailed it, but yeah, I mean, I felt the same way when God first led me to this business. At first, I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yes,
I
it
was
was
like,
my
I'm
first
not doing
instinct
it.
also. I really was like, I was intrigued by what you were doing, and I really felt like God's nudge upon me to take a look and do the thing. And I was like, I just don't want to. Like, you even set up a chat, and I was like, I need a minute. I really did. I needed a minute because I was not sure that I wanted to do this.
I totally understand that because I felt the same way. And at first, when he led me to it, it was like pre-enrollment. It was like just starting. And so
Yeah.
we didn't even have ingredients out yet. I just heard peptides made from plants, they're natural, and that was it. Like that was all I knew. And I was like, God, really? And I did. I did really appreciate the way that they were like, let's get rid of all the ick from, network marketing. Let's shift it up. It's like made for the modern affiliate. It's you don't have to build a team. It's, you can choose to if you want. And so like a lot of that has really helped because now we have a ton of doctors and chiropractors and functional medicine doctors and gyms and different things because you don't have to build a team. And so that really changes the game. So it's really been great. But also, like for me, I dug into the leadership. I was like, I need to know that you are a good person and that I trust you and that you have integrity. And I remember when I first met Justin Prince, I was like, I need to understand, like, and he really is such a down to earth, good guy and so transparent. I mean, I've watched them, like, now we've hit our first year, since we've been doing this, and I've watched him deal with, the bumps and things. I feel
Yeah.
like now is like the perfect time because there was a time where it was like, the shipping is not working or taking too long. We got to fire
We're
the shipping
figuring it out.
company. And,
Yeah.
the way they handled it was not like, oh, let's shove it under the rug and pretend it didn't happen. It's like, no, hey, here we are at our office that we're getting set up. You guys want to see it? Like, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. So just like, oh my goodness, like
Transparent.
so relieving. I just had
Yeah.
like I was like, oh, this is different. And so much about it has been this is different. And the culture and just how many top leaders have come in from other companies because they're burnt out and they're tired of that and come in and they all collaborate. It's so different. It's so different. It's not like well, you can't be on there because you're not on my team and you're not that. It's totally not like that. It's such a breath of fresh air, to be honest. And then on top of it, the peptides are incredible. They're not just another supplement. It's not like, oh, yeah, I have a collagen too. It's like, no, this actually goes into your body and tells it to increase this and decrease that and turn this on and turn this off. And so it works on a cellular level. And so I know that it's going to work for people. Is it going to give them the exact results in 25 seconds? Like, no, I mean, it works different for everybody, but I know that it's going in and it's making the cells regenerate stronger and making the cells communicate better. And we're just getting started. Like, it's been incredible. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm so grateful that God has led me to this space and just grateful we get to work together.
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun whenever, in the world of homeschooling, we talk about community so much. And, I think it's great for us to talk about kids and community, but also we need a community too, mamas. Like, we absolutely need a community of women. And I think one of the fun things that we've talked about is personal growth and the fact that we have gotten more personal growth from doing business in this manner and getting to connect with other leaders. And just like they say, you are the five people that are around you. And when you're really pouring in and you're praying over your friendships and you're allowing God to hook you up, because that's essentially what happened here is God brought you into my life and vice versa. And we have had such a wonderful iron sharpens iron relationship. And whenever you get to just have like that mom community and they get it and we all lift each other up, and it's such a fun, life-giving thing. So whenever she told me like it's $0 to become an affiliate, you just do the things, you should definitely be on the products and try the products. Technically, there's not a requirement, but you should 100% know what you're trying to sell to everybody. And I said this on another episode. The energy that it has given me, I've absolutely loved because it's sustainable. Focus, I'm learning how to focus for the first time in my life. Calm, I have absolutely loved being able to wake up in the morning and still feel calm.
Yeah.
Like used to, I would wake up in the morning with the million thoughts of what my day was going to look like. And it's like now I open my eyeballs and I still have peace. whenever I wake up. But on top of that, I haven't even got a hold of the fit and lean and hydrated. I haven't even got a hold of those yet, which help with, weight loss and gaining muscle and all of the different things that they help with. And I've already lost over 5 pounds. And I'm not even in that realm yet. Like, I'm not even there yet. And I have already lost 5 pounds. And I really think that I contribute that to my cortisol levels dropping
Mhm.
and my stress lowering. And I think that that is really where that is coming from, is it just helping my body to be in a better place.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And you haven't even tried my favorite yet. Fit is my favorite product. It is by far the it's helped my hair grow in thicker. Like that's the thing that's cool about peptides is because it increases and improves cell to cell communication. They're like multifaceted. They do lots of like even though like we don't claim that that's not like part of the clinical trials. Oh, it makes your hair
Right,
grow in thicker, but everybody says that. You know, it's
right.
different things that and it helps with lowering inflammation and helping with like body aches and pains and recovery and all these things. And so, yeah, I know it's crazy. And the personal growth thing is so true. Like, that is one of the reasons I love this industry, to be honest. It was the reason I loved it to start because it really is you're continually being around people and focusing on growth. And it just makes a huge difference. And then the other thing I wanted to mention too is as homeschool moms, I feel like the last time I tried to do a business like this, and I say try because I did not have I did not have success in it. It felt like a lot, it was really overwhelming. And don't get me wrong, if you really wanted to, you could make this overwhelming too, but it's really designed to be super
Yeah.
simple, very much streamlined. And also we get to work so closely together that like, we really have the process nailed down. I'm so grateful just the mentor that I work with, Jen, who we started the chat with, and you haven't even really chatted with her yet, but you need to because she is amazing. She's been in this industry for like 30 years and between us, like I mean, she makes multiple six figures per month already. Like she
Yeah.
knows her stuff, but you would never know it because she's super sweet. She is always like leading with love and service. And it's not like this really awkward, pushy, it's just not like that. And so that I really love because I don't know, like sometimes I get on social media and I'm like, there is so much cringe out there. Like I want to throw up. Like I don't even want to post anything some days because I'm like, I don't even want to be part of that. But let me tell you, you don't have to be part of that. It doesn't have to be like that. You really can just come from a place of like serving and impact and like loving on people and leading people well. And so I just had to put that in there because that is like such a turn off to me, the way some people do things. And I like, just let's not do that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that that was one of my favorite things is as I have grown through, my whole personal growth journey, a lot of it did start in other companies that I started with. And I mean, I had like mediocre success. Like I had a decent success at them, but at the same time, there was all of the ick feelings that I had with it as well. But then I started, like, my heart started turning towards, I really just want to serve people. And that's why I started this podcast, was the desire to just serve people well and to love on others. I had the same conversations over and over again on how to homeschool and what to do and all of that. And so it started out of a conversation, multiple conversations. And so I think that that's really cool that that's where I started, was out of service and serving my listeners and everything else, and that God has now brought me another way to be able to help and serve others in the exact same manner of, you want to homeschool? Great. You're going to need the energy to do it. You're going to need the focus to do it. Lord knows we're not all at our goal weight. So if you want some of that, I got you there too. You need calmness. Yes, I've got that as well. Like, And it's a loving on them kind of way. You need those things as being a homeschool mom. You just do. You need all of those things, the energy, the focus, the calm, the ability to have the energy to go and take a walk in the morning. All of that. You need it all in this homeschooling world. And so, and then if you want to get at your goal weight as well and you want your hair to grow back and all of the things. Like, it's a blessing. It's just a huge blessing. It's funny how you can just shut the door on something, and God's like, we're not quite done with that realm of life yet. I'm going to bring you in a little bit more, but it's going to be different. So, never thought I would be here, but I'm super excited to be here and doing it with you. With that being said, I want to dive a little bit more into the abundance versus the scarcity mindset that goes with all of this, with homeschooling and all of the things.
Yeah, for sure. And especially, the thing that when we think of abundance and scarcity, you can't have abundance and scarcity at the same time. You can't have, gratitude and anxiety at the same time, or lack and abundance or whatever, however you want to word it, like you can't really have them both. And so when it comes to, finances, what we're talking about today, if you have a scarcity lack mindset, first off, you're sharing that with your kids.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things like to really be careful about, and we could probably do a whole episode on this, so I won't go into it, but you could really try to be careful with your words on scarcity of we can't afford that or something like that, because that alone is a scarcity declaration. You don't want to declare that. It might not be in your budget right now. That's a nicer way of saying it.
It
Um,
may not be in your budget right now. We choose not to allocate our money to that need or that want.
yeah.
Or one of the things we've said recently is it a need or is it a want? And making the distinguishing between the two, you
Oh, for
know?
sure. But also that all it doesn't just talk about finances, it's also time too. We
Yeah.
can have a scarcity or a lack mindset in time. And I struggled with that for a long time. I mean, being a homeschool mom with five boys, traveling, working, but the thing is when we focus on having enough time, and if we start to change our verbiage and change our thoughts around it, you end up having more time than you think. And so
Mhm.
I think that's really important to not only as we think about finances and time, but how that plays out and how our kids get that. Because I think a lot of our scarcity, I don't know, for me at least, has come from my parents,
Mm-hmm.
their talk and their self-talk and the things in their programming. So let's break the chains and not pass it on. So,
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. So, some key points and some key takeaways today. Homeschooling can totally be done affordably, financially. You do not have to sink the ship in order for homeschooling to be done. Living on one income is possible with intention and community, 110%. And there are plenty of options out there, guys, for bringing an extra income. If it is something that you're wanting, make sure that you're finding something that you love. Make sure that you're finding something that you enjoy that doesn't necessarily feel like a bogged down career or job or whatever that is taking and robbing your joy and your energy. If you would love to know more information about what we're doing here at Make Wellness and all of the things, I have a note in the show notes for you. Of course, I do. And we'd love to chat with you. I would absolutely love to just like see if it's a great fit for you and see if it's something that you want to do. You can try the products, whatever it is that you want. So I think that that is pretty much it for today. Do you have anything else to add to that?
no, the only other thing I would say is, community is a big deal. And so if you are looking for community, regardless of where you are, we have a Facebook group. We would love for you to join us. We have about 40,000 homeschool moms that are, kind of in the wild and free mindset of just, having time in nature and hiking and all of that. You don't have to follow any certain curriculum or anything, but it's a great place to come and find community and people that are in your area and just get encouraged and poured into.
Yes, I absolutely would love to have them in that Facebook group. It's been so fun to watch all of the mamas in there. And you're right, community is just as important for us as it is for our kids. And we need to be socialized too, moms. So I hope that you have the absolute very best day. Thanks always, as Janine, for coming to hang out with us. I always love getting to chat with you. And I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks for having me.